Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and it is another normal game sent in by you, the fans, too. Lifesaglitchtv at gmail.com. Mr. Maximus Black.
Yes?
Hit me up with that old school noise.
I just prematurely hit the damn button. Fuck me.
Up here at the top left. Oh, look, it's another PVZ. Up here at the top left, we have another blue Zerg Yood, and in the bottom right, we've got the red Protoss. I'm just gonna call him OP because I ain't gonna pronounce.
Well,
I ain't gonna try to fucking figure out what that's supposed to say.
If only he was Terran, that name would make sense. By the way, I don't hate Terran so much that I am not picking Terran games for everybody.
This is
just luck of the draw. I do not watch these games. All I do is read the very small synopsis, which is usually like one line that somebody says, like, "Oh, this is an amazing game. You have to cast this." And then we watch it and we're like, amazing. I don't.
Is it though?
Is it though? Is it though? But hey, we still love you because sometimes it really do be that game. Once again, because there was an update, I don't know what league this is, but judging by the opening, look at this. Fast expansion, got the gateway at the natural. We've got a fast expansion over here. We got the spawning pool and the extractor at proper times. We've got some scouting happening. I'm going to preemptively go out and put Diamond. That's where I'm starting them. The benchmark is getting started at Diamond, and I may or may not move it. Ooh, a third. You know what? I'm going right to Masters. I'm going right up to Masters. We've got another hatchery going down here for Yood. We've got a very standard opening over here for Protoss. I'm starting at Masters, and we can work our way down or up from there, Adam.
All right. I was actually just gonna say, Diamond to start myself. I don't know. A 3 base opening for a Zerg is pretty fucking greedy. We'll have to wait and see what comes out of it. I need to see a little bit more before I put him straight to Masters. But I'd say Diamond. I'd say Diamond makes a good amount of sense. The openings are so tight that I would say Diamond makes a good amount of sense. We'll have to wait and see what comes out of it. But Protoss does scout that third immediately after coming back upon scouting the main. And so now with the knowledge that there are 3 bases over there for the Zerg, he knows he's operating on a little bit more time than he would normally, especially for harassment purposes. But that also signals that he's got to be ready for what is, likely a smaller subset of builds in the mid-game. So if you're in this situation, Mr. Black, and you see that Zerg is popped off on the 3 base, as Protoss, what are your thoughts? How do you want to tackle this situation?
Well, you can either do a 2-base all-in timing attack, or you can just start teching. So you're going to want to put down your Stargate, or you're going to want to put down your Robo and start your tech. But it looks like we're getting quite a bit of gates here. So we've got 2 gates over on this side. This is to stop. Usually you see this to stop Reapers from coming up inside here. We've also learned, I guess now, that this can stop locusts as well, because if you're kind of blocked here. But that's not the first thing you think of. Like, locust plays are pretty rare in PvZ. Plus, you're always going to assume that there's going to be an Overlord that's going to scout you out. My thing would be either I'm going to be going into my tech, which we're seeing a Stargate now, and he's purposely putting it out here and not inside here, because there is that Overlord inside the base. So, if it was me, the way I play, it'd be a 2-base all-in. That's the show. I would have put down a Robo instead of the Stargate. I would have chrono boosted out a Warp Prism, and I would have just went for the all-in, man. That would have been it. I would have put down like 7-8 gates, and it would have been, let's see if I can make this happen. But even then, with a fast 3-base Zerg, you can still lose the game, even on an all-in, because they're gonna have the hatcheries to make units. They're gonna drone up heavy. Once again, I'm still comfortable in calling this a Masters game. The amount of drones that we're seeing coming out, he's really macroing quite hard right now. He's starting to spread out those creep tumors a little bit. He's doing a decent job at getting information via Overlords. Still doesn't see this yet. I do like the fact he is getting out this Void Ray. This is just You're not going to use his Void Ray to attack, but he's just going to use this to kill off any overlords in the area. And I'll shut up now. He's getting the third base. He's going for the macro game.
Yeah, there you go. At first I wasn't sure if he was going macro or what, because I saw that he had the three fucking, oh my god, I'm blanking out right now on the unit name.
Adepts?
Help me out here. Adepts, thank you. My brain didn't want to think about Adept. Yeah, so Adepts. The other 3 Adepts, and I was thinking to myself, well, maybe he's going to just go up with some Adepts to do some harassment and go into an expansion, but no, he stopped at 3 Adepts and he just decided to do the expanding with no harassment. I was thinking to myself, you know, yeah, like a 2 base all in, and if you're going to play macro, I feel like you have to harass. You can't, like, the Zerg is already up bases.
Yes.
So if you're also going to play macro, you need to be abusing harassment in some way, shape, or form. And unfortunately for Yood, or not Yood, sorry, for OP, his window of harassment opportunity is closing rapidly.
Yeah,
His opponent is now macro hatching and getting into a spire and his 4th base. So like, he's got minimum time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got minimum time, and he hasn't scouted either. So he doesn't really know what's going on behind this. He doesn't know yet. He's going to find out, I guess, supposedly soon. But he knows he's going to be up against that now. But before that, no real information. So, you know, OP is really up against the ropes now, and it will be a difficult hill to climb for him, no matter what he does.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen him use these Adepts. Just even to go there, force some of those larvae to turn into at least lings, maybe roaches. There's really nothing here outside of Queens, and Queens' DPS isn't very high, and you can shade all over the place and hit multiple bases at once. What the problem is Protoss is when you do absolutely no scouting really at all. He's doing a little bit of it now with the Void Rays. And you're just going to allow Zerg to macro, you're going to find yourself in a whole world of shit. The only thing that I've seen OP do so far that was like, okay, I see you, is when he killed that Overlord, he immediately put down the 2 Robos. So he waited until the Overlords were dead before showing off his tech, and in the back of the mind of the Zerg, he's thinking, okay, he's going air. So if he's going to go air, then I'm going to go and tech into something that can counter that. Hence, probably why he got some Muta. I don't think we're going to see, like, oh, no, I'm wrong. I was going to say, I don't think we're going to see a massive Muta, but now he's got another 7 in production. He's got another macro, not even a macro hatch, just a fucking mineral line here. He's got another, he's going to have so many hatcheries, so much money coming in, that if OP waits any longer, he's going to lose this game.
OP's in trouble. And what's going to lose him this game if he does lose? And I think he's really, like, I don't know how he wins this right now. It's gonna take a catastrophic play, I think, from Yood, because what's gonna lose the game for OP is just not scouting, and he's teching into the wrong shit. He's got speed lots, and he's got giraffes, and his opponent's going like Muta and Ling. So he's not really countering because he didn't get any scouting information. Now he's getting his shit lit up like a Christmas tree by these Muta, and all he can do is kind of maybe consider countering.
He has to
leave his stalkers behind, and so he's going to counter with speed lots to see if he can get some shit done and pull Yood back. But otherwise, he's got nothing, and he teched the wrong way for no scouting. Oh, that's bad. Don't stack him like that.
And what Yood is going to do is Yood is just going to harass, kill as many probes as he can, then go back with the Muta or make more Muta at home, and then just defend. He can allow this 5th base to die. He can allow the 4th base to die. What Protoss can allow is to lose all of your probes. Now, this is a scary army, but the problem is there's not a lot of anti-air here. There's quite a bit of Lings, there's obviously creep, you've got Mutas, and you've got Queens. I mean, this army is gonna die, and it's gonna die quick.
Yeah, there he is. He's got some good preemptive force fields, but they weren't enough to stop the units from pressing down the ramp. The Queens are still at the top doing a lot of damage. Thanks to that creep, allowed them to get there very quickly, cleaning up a lot of the stalkers down with those Muta. And really, there's not much for him to do except for get some damage in with the speed lots, which are just, you know, basically fucking unkillable for the longest time. But beyond that, that's kind of all he's working with to be able to hold his own at the mid-map right now. But if the Zerg wanted to, and he's going into Greater Spire now, which I think is the right move, is he could just keep harassing, and there's really nothing OP can do about it, and he doesn't look like he's really changing anything either. He is building some Phoenix, but man, you gotta have a fucking you gotta
Shit
have
ton.
some Phoenix.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a decent amount now. That should be this plus a couple more. He's got one more in production. That could be enough to kill off Muta harassment. But to move out there, I mean, because we're gonna see Corruptor soon. He's obviously gonna go and push again with Muta, especially now that he sees like, oh, his Phoenix are over here at my base. I can use my Queens. If I can kill off some of these, fantastic. But I'm gonna go over here and I'm just gonna wreck mineral lines. I can do this all day. 147 supply to 130, but that doesn't paint the whole story, Adam. The thing is this Yood is getting at the point where he can just remax instantaneously. He's at the point where he can allow the majority of these mutas to die if he wanted to, and as long as he kills off the probes, he's going to be totally fine. This is really, really bad here for OP.
Yeah. And he's even feeling comfortable enough to take out some Phoenix to keep the numbers down so that he can come back with more harassment if he wants to. He can kill all of them now.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Protoss is really up shit's creek right now, and he's definitely on the verge of having no fucking paddle.
He's blocked himself.
I mean, Yood is sitting on 4,000 minerals and 1,200 gas. He can lose a lot of units here and still be able to produce more of almost any kind. Because of the composition, shit, he could convert himself into a roach build at this point, and he'd still be able to max so much that it would be a problem for the Protoss to deal with anyway. But these Muta are just doing insane amounts of damage. His only problem is he's not really building very much back home. Now he is. He just did 14 more Muta on the way. He was microing so heavy that he was having a hard time keeping up his macro. But my God, how many probes are even left now? Like, what is the production level left for Protoss? Still got 43. He's got 43, so they must all be sitting at that third.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them. The problem that Protoss has, and I run into this as well, is your structures start to get in the way. And if you don't have a couple of Archon in your mineral lines or a cannon or two, it's game over. It just didn't stand a chance. I mean, he just sat back, macroed. And you're macroing against a greedy Zerg that opened up with 2 hatcheries to begin with and just built queens and droned to fuck. And you got Adepts, did no harassment at all. Didn't force any larvae to turn into any units, just allowed them to drone. And not only that, spread creep. And when you do that, I mean, how are you going to win? You can't just let a Zerg do what Zergs do. You can't play reactionary against Zerg. You have to go out there and you have to dictate the pace, or the Zerg will take over altogether, and this will ensue. And unfortunately, it was a pretty lopsided game. Good game, but lopsided.
Yeah. Very, it was a good game, and you know, I felt like I feel for it's unfortunate for OP because he even scouted that third immediately. Like that third was in production early. He saw it, and if you see 3 base Zerg, you know what they're doing at that point, and you have to harass if you're not going to 2 base all in. You have to harass, and he didn't, and worse than that, he probably still could have been okay. If he had scouted so that he didn't tech into the wrong shit, he might have still been okay. But unfortunately, he invested too much into speed lot, and that ended up kind of slowing him down into being able to deal with this Muta mass, and just cost him the game at the end of it. So, moral of the story is, you know, if you wanna go down the road of macroing versus a macroing Zerg, fine, but you need to harass, or at the very least, you need to get your scouting in, gentlemen.
That's what you need to do. You heard the man. Make it happen. See you on the next one.